right, finally some clarification. What's happening, friends? Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Updates from The Athletic. A double whammy from Big Ornstein himself, confirming what's going on with Conor Gallagher. And indeed, finally, the fee that Chelsea Football Club have paid for Joao Felix. And I'm going to tell you that in a moment, or after the Conor Gallagher segment. And yes, spoiler, it's a good fee. People were speculating a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. But there is some caveats, so we're going to get into that as well. Also, we will remind ourselves once more of Joao Felix's strengths and look at him on X value to just have a look at what we're getting, or what we've got. Very exciting. I think he's completed his medical as well in London today. So it's done. It's done, diddly done. So if you're feeling good about the transfer, if not, if you just want to give me some support and sweet love, please do drop a like on the video. Please do consider subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. If you subscribe, hit the bell and let's get into it. Alright, mate, let's start off with Conor Gallagher. Like I said, both these updates are coming from David Ornstein on The Athletic. Starting with Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher. Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher is scheduled to fly to Spain on Tuesday evening. So that's like now, essentially, in order to complete his move to Atletico Madrid. The clubs, of course, have a deal already in place worth 42 million euros, which includes, and this is interesting, guys, this is a new piece of news that is definitely very relevant. It's got a sell-on clause for the Stamford Bridge side. So if Atletico Madrid sell on Conor Gallagher for one reason or another, for, how old's Conor? Like, he's got to be young, 24. He's 24. So they could have him for 4 years. He could be very good. He could sign an extension and free, and they could sell him, and then Chelsea will get some money back off that sale. The percentage is undisclosed, but that is, smart business. This is what you usually do when you sell a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old. You put a sell-on clause in. But to manage to sneak one in for a 24-year-old midfielder, actually, it's good, man. We didn't get insane money for him, 42 million euros. I mean, he has got 12 months left on his deal, and he's clearly, profile-wise, not wanted. He's a very good player, of course. I think it's good that they've got a sell-on clause in there as well. And of course, personal terms have long been agreed between Conor Gallagher and Atletico Madrid, and he's expected to join it says a long-term contract at the Wanda Metropolitano, but a long-term contract is probably 5 years. That's a conventional long-term contract and not a Chelsea one. The England international has been forced to train alone after his switch to the Spanish capital, his complications in recent weeks. I feel like he's probably understood that he wants to go to Atletico Madrid. There isn't much value making him train in groups where he can get injured in impact and contacts. Training alone with a personal trainer, keeping him fresh and sweet for the transfer, surely represents just intelligent management of the situation. Of course, the collapse of Omorodion, the proposed transfer to Chelsea, delayed Gallagher's departure. Atletico had a bid accepted for Gallagher last month, with the midfielder also agreeing personal terms and undergoing a medical after flying to the Spanish capital last week. It was all done, basically. On Monday, Chelsea agreed a deal with La Liga counterparts to sign Joao Felix, paving the way finally for Gallagher to complete his switch to Atletico. Having turned down 3 offers, wow, I thought it was 2, 3 two-year contract extensions with the club, with the extension of a third, Gallagher indicated that he would be sold to avoid risking the 24-year. He essentially said once he'd rejected 3 contract offers, we were like, right, well, we're going to sell you because we're not losing you for free. That was Chelsea's position. Of course, he had a good season last campaign, and it's just going through his history here, which we don't need to go over because we all know Gallagher's history. One of the few loans, played quite well, yada, yada, yada. Good player, good lad, best of luck to him. Alright, so Ornstein, 27 minutes ago, at time of recording, published an article, finally, publicising the fee of Joao Felix to Chelsea. Now, context, Joao Felix cost 120 million euros when signed originally. I think he was quoted Chelsea were quoted a year ago 80 million pounds to sign him. 80 million pounds. So how much did we get him for? Well, drum roll please. Chelsea are set to complete the signing of Joao Felix from Atletico Madrid. A deal of approximately 45.5 million euros has been agreed between the clubs. So, for you people who work in pounds out there, that is... Why can't I just freaking... Oh my god. 4.5... So I can hear my cat flying outside. Is 38.8 million pounds. 38.8 million pounds for Joao Felix. Last summer, 80 million pounds. This summer, 38 million pounds. Hold on, let me just stop my cat from flying. Sorry for that interruption, guys. Mia, my cat, many of you will know, she was getting bullied by a big tabby outside, and I've just got to go and save the cat. So yeah, 80 million pounds quoted. We got him for 38 million pounds. And wage demand significantly lowered by the player. But this is interesting as well. So 38 million quid agreed between the clubs. No add-ons. So flat rate. Flat rate. But Atletico, interestingly, like Conor Gallagher, have negotiated a sell-on clause. As part of the deal. Now, sell-on clause... Chelsea are signing him on a 6+1 deal. That is a long-term deal. He's 24. So, but the thing is with Chelsea, we know, and Atletico will know this as well, Chelsea are very open to selling players. And if, for one reason or another, a reason it comes to pass, they could sell Joao Felix, and a sell-on clause will go to Atletico Madrid. So they both put on sell-on clauses, respectively, to each other's deal. So the 24-year-old has finished and completed his medicals and completed his personal terms. They're in place, of course, for a 6-year contract, plus the option of an additional 12 months. 6+1. Joao Felix will fit within Chelsea's wage structure with performance-related bonuses. And guys, like many of you, I have criticisms of the Chelsea ownership. I do actually genuinely think they're doing a lot of stuff that I've been asking for, and that is one of them. Look, Joao Felix, don't just give him 300k a week. Give him 150k a week, and you can add an extra 100k a week if we win Premier Leagues, if we win Champions Leagues, if you score loads of goals. Don't do a Man United. Don't do a Chelsea 5 years ago. Just giving players silly money, and just, especially in the landscape of profit and sustainability rules now, where, in Todd Bowley's words, it's showing its teeth, and you can't just give players massive wages anymore. Well, without, consequence, essentially. The move would see Joao Felix return to Chelsea after spending half the season here, of course, in the 22-23 season, scoring 4 goals. He was at Barcelona, Conor Gallagher, Chelsea have signed loads of other players, yada, 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 yada. Look, man, there's all kinds of reports coming from Spain, Spanish media, different international media saying Joao's very, very excited to come back to Chelsea. He loved it at Chelsea. He wants to come back, to the point where we know he's dropping his wages down massively. He's like, you know what? Sod it. Get me back in Chelsea. Which is it's a nice feeling, considering we've been a circus for 2 years. So for players willing to, drop wages and actively wanting to come back to Chelsea, it's a nice thing. Many people will be thinking, well, where's he going to play? Well, let's take a look here, shall we? Back on his X-Value platform here. Firstly, heat map, he loves playing on the left. So for me, the obvious thing is here, as you can see, Joao Felix here, Nkunku here, Cole Palmer here, and Pedro Neto does like playing on the right, playing here. Galactico lineup, Noni Madueke and Dewsbury Hall will be feeling hard done by. What is he though? Look at his spider chart here, if you can see it properly. He's not, unsurprisingly, recoveries and aerials on his strengths, but he's very good at everything else. Dribbling, shooting, really good at, so he's really good at carrying and dribbling, really good at shooting, really good at assisting, and he's pretty darn good at passing. He is divvied up here in his player functions as a one-to-one explorer mainly, which is kind of like a winger sort of creative, a bit of a flair player. He is a mobile finisher as well. You get a lot of strikers like that. He's got 18.7%, so he can play as a striker and a chance creator as well. His biggest strength in his key metrics by player structure is dribbles, carrying, and very, very strong in 1-2s opened. Now, this is something that I've spoken about recently. Combinations in the box, combinational play. Chelsea will inherently come up against some stubborn defenses, some low blocks, and you will need to be creative in the final third. You'll need to open 1-2s, you'll need to dribble. It's basically all the stuff that Joao Felix likes. There is a certain, I know when he arrives, they did that thing, they called him the artist, but there is an artistry to his game, which I like personally, and Chelsea, the sporting directors, liked him. Remember, we didn't sign him predominantly, not because he cost 80 million, and we only got him 38 now, but we didn't sign him predominantly because Pochettino didn't want him. So let's look at some advanced stats here. Here we go. His non-penalty XG is very, very strong. His expected threat and his expected offensive value added is his strengths here. So he's going to help the attack. 94th percentile for expected goals. 96th. So he's in the top 4% for non-penalty goals, which is really, really strong. It's really, really strong. I know his numbers haven't been insane, but he puts himself in goal scoring positions, and these are really strong shooting metrics, guys. All of them, 4 high blue bars there. And he's not just some geezer who's going to sit in the box and try and score chances. His chance creation to help his teammates is very high. 82nd percentile, 86th percentile. Expected is it overall value? Expected offensive value added, which is a consolidated, aggregated attacking metric that will say all the stuff he does to help the attack. He's in the top 9% of elite attacking midfielders. And that's just as a creator. He's in the top 4% as a non-penalty goal scorer. So they're so balanced, and it doesn't stop there. Progression, really, really important as well. His duels and his defenses aren't strong. We won't look at that, but progression, 90th percentile. Even in his passes, 69th. He's not going to be like a Cesc Fabregas, but he's still a good passer. His dribbling from carries, 94th, very strong. 1-2s open, 1-2s close, which we looked at before. Quick interchange in the box, very, very strong indeed, and he represents an excellent flair signing that can unlock stubborn defenses. Again, I want to maintain my position. I don't want to play mental gymnastics here. I want to be fair with you guys because you guys are watching the videos. I've always been excited about the prospect of re-signing Joao Felix, provided it's a really good deal, which, from what David Ornstein is reporting here, it is a really good deal. And he should help Chelsea in attack with stubborn defences. But I didn't look at our biggest problems and go, oh, we need Joao Felix. I just simply didn't. And, unless you're just a Joao Felix stan, as many of these kids are, you probably didn't either. Let's be real. But it is exciting. Like I said, he's a really massive, he's a global superstar. I hate to say it again, he's a global brand, massive following. Chelsea will like that. He's a good guy by all accounts. He speaks fluent English. He loved his time at Chelsea. He made friends easily. He speaks, of course, English, Spanish, Portuguese. And he is he's an exciting player. We've got Portuguese players in there. We've got, how many Portuguese? We've got Veiga and Neto, and is that it? Well, Brazilian as well, and French, Spanish speaking as well. I do like it. I do like the signing at 38 million quid with no add-ons, fitting into the wage structure as a guy who just wants to play for Chelsea, who's been here before. I just think that's such a rarity. A guy who was there in that Graham Potter era to want to return. I think he's got to really want to play for Chelsea. Personally, that's what I think, man. Anyway, really interesting insight. I'm glad to have learned it. Of course, the stories go on. The Osimhen story isn't dead. The Lukaku story isn't dead. We'll have to get people out the door still. I will be following all the transfers here and, of course, talking you through the entire competitive season here on Football Therapy. So thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Let's get to 200,000 subscribers this season. And we'll do it together. All right, thank you for joining me. Hope to see you back here soon. And peace.